Hey guys, welcome back to the Cool Classic Kids Show, and today we have to talk about, well, Kotaku, man. Kotaku absolutely taking the dumbest side of a particular situation. And really this topic revolves around the trans bullets in Call of Duty. Something completely ridiculous, man. And it's crazy that we're here talking about this of all things, but yeah, um just to kind of bring you guys up to date with what's going on in regards to Call of Duty, well, Call of Duty decided to virtue signal, as you know, as does pretty much every single company, or at least a good portion of companies. When it comes to this time of the year, being June, they decided to virtue signal heavy, and it has blown up in their face pretty badly here, guys. So just to bring you guys up to speed with what's up, um, they apparently in Call of Duty covered bullets on some guns in the trans flag. Oh man. And they said pride camos, so they have a free gift from the Call of Duty store that's basically a bunch of pride camos so that they can virtue signal properly for their ESG scores and to look good for Pride Month, and so can, pretty much everyone else in the Call of Duty community that so chooses to indulge. And yes, one of the skins apparently that we've seen ends up with a trans flag bullets. Apparently, this is to some extent a how do you say, a glitch. And yeah, Kotaku here just wants to say, hey, we're gonna take the dumbest side of this whole situation, and they say Call of Duty's trans bullets are the largest right wing conspiracy rage bait. Oh man. Libs of TikTok and others are using Modern Warfare 3's Pride Month camos to push transphobia. Here we go, man. And I thought this person's name when I first saw it was Ethan Gooch, but yeah. Clearly, you could tell I had just woken up. But to continue, he said a possible Call of Duty bug is causing a new Pride themed cosmetic to paint the bullets in one version of one of the game's guns the colors of the transgender flag. Now, right wing rage jockeys are seizing this to peddle transphobic conspiracy theories so idiotic they would be laughable if not for the real world threats underlying the outrage. And here we go, man. Here we go. Now, we could assume that it's a bug, but what was the intent? Was this on purpose? We don't know. If anything, it goes to show that Call of Duty perhaps rushed this entire. It wouldn't surprise me if Call of Duty just rushed this out to virtue signal and didn't properly, assess these cosmetics to make sure that, hey, let's make sure that when we virtue signal, we don't fuck up as badly as Halo on Juneteenth back, a couple of years ago. Let's make sure we don't screw up that badly. You would think that Halo putting that, quote unquote, I believe the skin was called Bonobo skin out and naming it that, you would think that these companies would make sure when they do virtue signal, and honestly, they just shouldn't, because, well, you should just be worried about making good video games, not about virtue signaling about some particular movement of sorts, because, well, you end up stepping in shit. Like that becomes a typical thing. Instead of just making a good video game that everyone can love and appreciate because it's a good video game, something that Call of Duty, in my opinion, hasn't been able to do in quite some time. Yeah, let's virtue signal for them ESG points, man. Let's look good for what is the socially acceptable sides to take and whatnot. And so we end up here, which, in my opinion, is up there with the whole Juneteenth 343 nonsense. But like I said, it could be that complete, total ignorance on the part of assessing these skins to make sure that they look the way that they're supposed to. There's no glitches. They just rush this out because, man, it's not necessarily about quality. It's about the message, right? Or, well, you could have one of those individuals that happen to be a part of the team, like with the 343 Juneteenth skin that they had put out. One person throughout this, the name that the skin should be. Nobody else thought of what the name actually was, and they just went with it. So it's like, a sort of lone wolf situation. It could have been this lone wolf situation in which this person made sure that the skin is glitched because of this. I mean, we don't know why this is necessarily the case, why this has happened, and to simply just assess it as so. And for you have to come to the conclusion that Call of Duty is indeed being insensitive. We can't ignore the reality that a lot of pew pew in public, mass pew pews in public. A lot of them over the past couple of years have unfortunately been at the hands of people who self-identify as trans or non-binary. That can't be ignored. So to actually not take this seriously when Call of Duty is, taking a stance that this stuff is quote unquote serious to them by virtue signaling, well, that just makes it still their fault. But hey, man, it's a right wing conspiracy theory, man. Let's just go with that because, well, Kotaku gonna Kotaku as per usual. Said season 4 of Call of Duty's Modern Warfare 3 Warzone went live last week. In addition to a host of new content, including Gundam skins that turn players into walking anime mechs. The update also rolled out free Pride cosmetics on June 1st. Call of Duty is for everyone, and we're proud to celebrate Pride Month by offering 7 different weapon camo variants, each representing the colors of different LGBTQ plus flags, Activision wrote on their website. One of the cameo variants is the transgender flag. When the cameo is applied, it paints the player's guns in a glittery version of the flag's colors. It also applies the flag's design to the texture of the ammunition cartridge for one skin on one particular gun, the M4. Call of Duty leakers Bomb Network UK discovered this almost immediately and tweeted a screenshot of it out as a joke. They covered the bullets on some guns. They tweeted on June 1st, trans bullets, they're gonna hate this one. And so yeah, they tweeted this out and they said hours later, the shitpost got picked up by Twitter account Insane Cope, which tries to dunk on liberals by reposting screenshots of things they tweet. From there, it quickly spread without the context of usual gaming. Adjacent outrage accounts, currently Freestellar Blade petitioner Mark Grum's Kern picked up the day after on June 3rd. Former GameRanks blogger Ian Miles Chong reshared it as well. All they deride Activision for adding trans bullets to their game. And let's be real now, like, no doubt, Drums is a grifter. Ian Miles Chong is a grifter. These people are ridiculous. Like, let's be real now. The thing is, what Kotaku really just pretends isn't the case, but is the case. Like, what they are, Kotaku is the same thing, but on the opposing side. So you have, like, Grums and Ian Miles Chong on this side, the ridiculous ones of, the right wing, and then you have Kotaku, the retards of the left wing. Like, you guys are the same, just in reverse. Like, so you guys are on the same level of stupid. And they said that's where account lives of TikTok, run by this person infamous for pushing homophobic transphobic conspiracies, found it. Call of Duty is now enabling kids to roleplay being a trans person who performs acts of terror, which is the uptick of actual trans violence we've been seeing. It's alarming. Call of Duty would introduce this. And look, man, while I don't necessarily agree with lives of TikTok, maybe this, I feel as though that this is, if anything, just really not assessing these skins properly. Or, like I said, it could be a lone person who decided to do this and was looked over. Whatever have you, this is just a massive F up, which really doesn't excuse Call of Duty at all. They want a virtue signal, so they should be held accountable for their virtue signals. And, but obviously we have both sides, left and right, that obviously take things to, the insane levels that they are. That's just, it is what it is. It happens every time. Every single time there's anything to go off of, they take it from 1 to 1,000. I mean, I dealt with, right-wing grifters when it came to Starfield, in which they just went full retard just because pronouns were optional. Meanwhile, I played the game for 250 hours, and it's like, okay, while that was stupid, the rest of the game that I played, and I played a good ass chunk of it clearly from my 250 hours, the game is fine. It's not like this massive virtue signal. And they say Call of Duty didn't introduce this though, unlike all the grifters clout chasing off the screen grab. Anyone who actually investigated the source of the transphobic flag bullets would have quickly realized they're seemingly isolated in one particular skin on one particular gun, and this does not excuse Call of Duty Activision's ignorance. Why do you think that this is suddenly okay? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's M4 came with a special Soul Harvester weapon blueprint, which included a skin-specific attachments to M4 and tracer rounds, which are colorful ammo options that leave traces of different visual effects, like paint splatters and red petals. For those who spent 100 to purchase the Vault edition of the game, based on Kotaku's testing, it appears the trans bullets only appear when applying the transgender flag cameo to that skin on the specific weapon blueprint. It's unclear if this is a bug. At one point during the testing, bullets in the cartridge were only the pink color, the trans flag, or an extremely idiosyncratic reflection of Call of Duty's complex shader system across thousands of items and cosmetics during the testing, with other skin cameos applied. M4 Harvester. Look, man, if you want to cover for this shit, you look no different than the people that are taking it to 1,000. You are no different. Why can't you just say, hey, look, man, this is a mistake and we don't, this isn't cool. Can we change it back? Of course, Kotaku has to Kotaku and do the most insane shit, which is defend this bullshit. But yeah. Oh my god. And then they have at the end, look, they said additional reporting by Alyssa Mercante. Like she does any reporting. But yeah, guys, I think this is absolutely ridiculous that Kotaku had to take this side of things. I think that this whole thing is obviously ridiculous. From the virtue signaling to taking it to 1,000. I mean, at the end of the day, Call of Duty is just a video game. And, to relate gaming as a direct comparison to real world violence, I'm always going to take the stance of that is completely ridiculous and we shouldn't take it there. There's plenty of studies that go to show that, there's no direct correlation. So calm your titties. No matter what side of the aisle happens to run with that, I'm going to naturally disagree with them. But Kotaku, you guys went full retard, as per usual. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. If you can, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me over on Twitter, Kick, if you'd like to continue the conversation. We are so close, guys, to 5,000 subscribers. So if you're new, definitely hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, where we play video games. Currently, we are playing Batman Arkham Asylum, and it has been an amazing return to Arkham, man. I'm thoroughly enjoying the game. Consider becoming a channel member. Basic 99 cent membership gives you instant access to Discord, and it also gets you Ziggy emotes for the Thursday night live stream, in which we go into all sorts of gaming news topics and laugh at fanboys and absolute deranged nonsense in the gaming space. So yeah, definitely join me there, where we have lots of fun talking it up with you. I have lots of fun talking it up with you guys, and yeah, man, it's just a great time. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, I'm out. Peace.